A bitter breakup, a terrible car accident, and worldwide alien invasion all seem to very inconveniently coincide for Michelle, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, as she awakes to find she's in a bunker, and the world outside has been invaded by some force, and it is far too dangerous to venture outside. As she learns a little bit more about her savior, or captor, played by John Goodman, she begins to question exactly how safe she is within this bunker, and if she needs to take the risk to go out into the brave unknown. In 10 Cloverfield Lane, this is today's review. It's probably on Netflix. I caught this recently, and it's definitely an interesting movie. And I mean, what we have here is something that's within the Cloverfield universe. This is, in so many ways, a sequel to Cloverfield, the 2008 monster movie, alien invasion monster movie. But it's more, let's say, within the same universe. It's something quite different. It's not a found footage film, of course, but it keeps within the same tradition of being lower budget. I mean, we're really just confined to this one set, the underground fallout bunker, with only 3 actors in this movie. And it's definitely a lower budget kind of movie, so it's not a huge Hollywood blockbuster or anything like that. And of course, one of the notable things about this movie is that it wasn't until very close to the film's actual release that it was revealed to be a Cloverfield movie. In fact, the working title was Valencia, which is an interesting thing, by the way. I watched this on Netflix, and on Netflix it is actually called Valencia, which is kind of interesting. But whatever you call it, I think it's a compelling movie, and I think it's solely based on its excellent performances. I mean, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she's definitely developed kind of a known personality of being within these, I don't know, I guess you want to call it a scream queen kind of thing, but not really quite. She's more of these authoritative characters, very strong characters in these types of roles, and I think she plays it very well here. Playing when she needs to be kind of the more meek kind of side to this character, who's really just, at every moment, she's kind of scanning the situation, and she's making these calculations and learning more about those around her. We have Howard, played by John Goodman, who's a veteran, and he seems to be a little unstable, and he seems to have this weird obsession with keeping this family down here with the other character, Emmett. So we do begin to wonder exactly how insane this character is, and I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, John Goodman is just excellent in this film. And I think if it were, I don't know, like, let's say a better film, a more high-profile film, a more celebrated film, however you want to put it, even like released a little bit later in the year, I think this would be something that would be garnering some awards attention, because this really is something that we haven't quite seen from Goodman before. It is this complex and scary and disturbing role, and while he is frightening in this movie, there is something very compelling about him and his psychology, where we kind of at least understand this mentality that he has. I mean, one of the very telling portions of the movie is when they're playing like a game of charades, and he's just so unwilling to have it connect into his head that there's a certain word that is very clear to us, the audience, and the other characters, what he's supposed to say, but he just can't quite do it because he's in this mental lock of some kind, and he's a very intimidating and scary character altogether, and a great performance, really. I think it is one of his best. And I think, you know, the movie, it works as a suspense thriller. It really does. That is character based, but at the same time, it is a commercial film. It is a brand film, the Cloverfield brand, where, I mean, if that's not quite satisfying enough to you, yes, not to give too much away, but there are aliens in this movie, and there's a good sequence that I think will satisfy people looking purely for that. Part of me almost does kind of wish that this was just called Valencia, because, I mean, for one thing, I mean, it kind of like ruins sort of the suspense of the movie, where we kind of begin to wonder, is this information that this character's conveying, is it accurate? Is there really this kind of Holocaust outside? Is there really this chemical invasion of some kind? But we already know going into it, since it is Cloverfield, we know, yeah, okay, there's probably aliens out there and stuff like that. But I think if it weren't associated with that brand, we would be kind of wondering throughout the whole thing. But we still did kind of wonder, and I think, like, even if they eliminated like everything related to like aliens or whatever, I think this still would be a very compelling thriller, where we get little hints of that. I mean, it still works that way, but you kind of wonder about this Howard character and his association with Michelle, and what kind of role he wants her to play within this world that he's created in this underground bunker, where he almost has this psychotic, skewed need to bring his daughter back to him. Like, we do kind of wonder, we don't really, this isn't giving anything away because we don't really quite figure it out, but we wonder, did he kill his daughter? And is he like trying to repeat this cycle over and again, like picking up random people in accidents and bringing them down there and telling them this story and then killing them and doing it all over again? So we wonder if that's kind of the psychology of the character, which I think would have been probably a more fascinating movie. But at the same time, I think the alien stuff works. I think Mary Elizabeth Winstead gives a great performance, and John Goodman as well. I think they're both really, really terrific in this film. So I would rate 10 Cloverfield Lane 3 stars out of 4. The performances are great, and it delivers on the Cloverfield brand that you can expect, and it delivers heavily on some great suspense, all brought together by very sharp writing and very committed performances. So I really enjoyed the movie. Whatever it's called, 10 Cloverfield Lane, Valencia, whatever you want to call it, definitely check it out. It's probably on Netflix, and I look forward to seeing more movies within this universe. We kind of ended on a note where they could potentially take it to this whole different level, where it very well could be something like a big budget Hollywood monster alien invasion movie, if they wanted to do so. If they wanted to make, let's say, the third film in this so-called trilogy, if they wanted to do that, I think they could. But at the same time, I think it works as an individual story, just as the first one did. Again, this has no connection to it. So I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it. Thank you very much for watching this review, and be sure to comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. Here's my question. Comment below, what is your favorite John Goodman performance? Let me know. Barton Fink, Fred Flintstone, a few to choose from. I really like this one. I think it's extremely strong and one of his absolute best. So comment, rate, subscribe, visit dare237.com, all that good stuff. And until next time, I'll see you later.